Hey, what's goody, Frye gang? We are almost a week into chill season, and this is probably my favorite season we've had so far. It's definitely the one I've been having the most fun with. Not because Paintbrush got a new kit or anything, but there were a lot of nice additions. We got a lot of changes to how X rank works. That's more so for the competitive players, but we got new music from the best band in the whole series. We got new kits, sorry Reflux, and we got a brand new King Salmonid, which I think is very cool. And that got me thinking, what other things do I want or do I think should be added to Splatoon 3 by the end of its life cycle? Things that need to be in the game to just overall make the experience better for everyone, casuals and competitive players. So I have a list of a couple things that I think need to be implemented into Splatoon 3 before updates are over. So these first couple points are going to have a couple sub points, but they all root back to the same premise. And for the first one, I am pretty sure that this is going to happen. There's a high likelihood that this will happen, but I still think it needs to be in the game, and that is giving us Splatfest maps and Splatfest colors for private lobbies. Now we know in Splatoon 2 we have all the Splatfest maps with all the different Splatfest color combinations that we can play on during or in a private battle, and those are some of the most fun times I've had in Splatoon 2 is just going into a private battle and playing on the Splatfest maps with friends and maybe playing like hide and seek or charges only and just a bunch of cool fun challenges and everything on these Splatfest maps. So the issue is with Splatoon 3, it's a high likelihood that this is going to happen, but this might not really mean anything because as of right now we only have a single Splatfest exclusive map, and that is the Triforce map that we got for the Legend of Zelda Splatfest. The one Splatfest that I didn't get to play, I'm still a little mad about that. The one time we had an actual exclusive map, I didn't get to play on it. But my pettiness aside, I'm kind of worried because we only have that one Splatfest exclusive map and we're already a year into the updates. All right, we got less than a year to go. So I'm kind of curious if they're going to give us any more Splatfest maps or at least bring some back from Splatoon 2. I know for Splatoon 2, the lore reason Marina made all those stages, but she's not here in Splatsville. So, and maybe the reason, in-lore reason why we don't have as many Splatfest maps in 3 is because Marina's off in her perfect world in side order. I'm not getting into all that, but I do think we need a bit more Splatfest maps, and then eventually by the end of the game's lifespan add those maps and colors into private lobbies. That alone will incentivize a handful of people to play the game even more and like play with their friends a lot more. It'll incentivize player retention once all the updates and everything are over. Now this next point has to do with challenges. The main point is that these should also be added to private lobbies once the game is done receiving updates, so that we can choose whatever challenge we want on whatever map. And kind of a sub point to that for challenges in general, make them longer, please. Okay, I think if I remember correctly, they're only like a single rotation long once a day for the weekend, so we only get to play once a day for 3 days, 2 hours for 3 days. I'm not really too sure why they do that. It would be a whole lot better and a lot more people would play if you just made them like a Splatfest. Okay, just make it all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or just Saturday and Sunday, just the entire weekend. Throughout the entire weekend, you can just play the challenge as much as you want, just like a Splatfest. I don't really understand the reasoning behind making it such these short intervals per day where most people won't be able to play anyway, so there's no point in even bothering with it. I mean, they changed that with Salmon Run. In Splatoon 2, it was basically random if Salmon Run would be open or not. There'd be some days where it wasn't open. But in Splatoon 3, they made it a permanent thing. It's always open. You can always play it no matter what. So if they can make changes to durations for special events like the Salmon Run, I'm not really too sure why they can't just make the challenges longer. Just make them the length of a Splatfest and so many more people would play. But the main point is to add challenges to private lobbies. All right, there's so many cool challenge ideas and things more challenges we could get. And even already the ones we have now, like modded Rainmaker, is very, very fun. And it even just changes fundamentally how Rainmaker works. Yes, it gets 2 more shots, but the timer that is active when you're holding it is a lot shorter. So it actively incentivizes you to push the Rainmaker and actually do something and not just, camp with it, which I think is very nice. It makes it very fun and engaging. And then the all special Splatfest or challenge where everyone has the same special but special charge is increased. That one's very hectic with the ink jets. The low gravity, which I still don't think we've even had yet. I'm not sure why, but that seems like the most fun with the super jump. I'm excited for that one. I'm waiting impatiently for whenever that drops. And just there's so many other different ones like the random weapons or gears. There's so many different challenges that we could play, but we barely get to play them because the intervals are just so short. So along with the Splatfest stuff, add challenges into private lobbies. That would just make a lot more people play the game, because a lot of people play Splatoon with their friends. The large majority, despite what Twitter and YouTube may tell you, the large majority of the Splatoon player base are casuals, people who are just there to have fun with their friends or just hop on every now and again. And we know Splatfests, that is the point where the most amount of players are playing are during Splatfest, because it's a special event that happens very rarely. And it's just fun for everyone because it's turf war, so it's kind of as accessible as possible. So just adding the Splatfest stuff as well as challenges into private lobbies will incentivize a lot more people to play with their friends and play the game after the updates have finished. There's really no reason why challenges shouldn't be added. It's already a high likelihood that this whole Splatfest stuff will get added if we get more maps, which I really doubt by this point, but at least add challenges to private lobbies once the updates are over. Now this one has to do with Salmon Run. I know I'm talking a lot about limited special events, but adding a permanent big run feature, or at least a permanent extra work feature to Salmon Run after the updates are over, would be very helpful. Alright, Salmon Run is already my favorite game mode in Splatoon, so I play it a lot, and sometimes it can get a little boring just playing on the same map with a bad weapon rotation for like a full day. So you can already kind of make a mini lobby per se. It's kind of just like joining your friends in Anarchy Open, where you can just have your friends join a team of 4 and y'all can go out and do a Salmon Run shift. But having a permanent big run, that's less likely. More plausible is having a permanent extra work feature, so you can play extra work whenever you want with your friends or whatever. So that option is always there, so you can either do a regular Salmon Run or extra work, which is a totally different map and weapon rotation. So, and that's not really too far-fetched of an idea, since we already have that with Anarchy. We have Anarchy Open and Anarchy Series, and then we even have X Battles. So we have 3 modes going on at once. So you can always really choose whichever game mode you want to play -1, since there's 4 modes and only 3 active at a time. But there's a high chance of whatever mode you want to play is going to be on. So they can kind of do something like that for Salmon Run, where you can make extra work, preferably big run, but there's many reasons why that wouldn't work. But having a permanent extra work, or at least have like a private lobby you can make and have extra run as an option there, or extra work as an option there, would be very nice. I already know a big chunk of this video is just adding limited time stuff to lobbies. That may seem, you know, kind of out there, but if you think about it, these would be nice additions to have. Even if they're not the most possible, you wouldn't want to play challenges whenever you want, or basically redo Splatfests that you missed, or just do extra work if you weren't able to do it some other time. So I don't really see why they wouldn't add these, considering once the updates are over, that means no more Splatfests, presumably no more challenges or extra works or big runs. So after they're over, they're just gone forever. So why not just put them in a private lobby so that we can replay them whenever we want? These are just entire dedicated sections of the game and limited time modes that we'll just never play again. Why not just, after the updates are over, just let us play them whenever we want? Y'all aren't supporting the game anymore, so why do y'all really care? There would be some nice additions. And mind you, there are many larger scale and smaller scale things that should be added to Splatoon 3. If I listed everything, this video would be hours long. There's a bunch of little details and things that people would like to see, but I just kind of wanted to go over the big main ones that I would want, and I think a lot of other people would want, and just that should generally be in the game by the end of the life cycle anyway. But the last one, and probably the most important, bring back Starfish main stage. Please just give me Starfish. Bring me that map. All right, Starfish main stage is my favorite map in the entire series. Just give me Starfish and I'll never complain again. That's all I want. My life will be complete. I will be satisfied with Splatoon 3. It could be the worst game of all time. All right, Side Order could be complete and utter trash. Just give me Starfish main stage and I'll be happy. That's all I want. I just want Starfish in Splatoon 3. I want to play Heavy Edit and Paintbrush on Starfish in Splatoon 3. Just give me that. Big Run on Starfish would go so insane. That's all I want. Just give me Starfish, please. But in all seriousness, there are plenty of things that should be added to Splatoon 3 and that need to be added to Splatoon 3 as like quality of life improvements. But those are my main three. More so too, since the Splatfest one is most likely going to happen anyway. But put challenges in private lobbies and let us be able to play them whenever we want in private lobbies, and an equivalent of that with extra work in Salmon Run. Make it to where we can choose extra work whenever we want. So that's really it. All right, I'm not going to get into all the other ones because that would take way too long, but that's basically all of them. So I got quite a couple interesting videos, I think, coming this week, hopefully, if everything plans out. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Stay safe. See you next mission and play some goddamn Splatty.